So let's go through a little bit more complicated example. We're going to build on the previous example. Let me just show you that again. Whoops, two C's there. So I'm going to take this program, I'm going to change it around and expand it a little bit so that we can more closely understand what's going on. So I'm going to make a copy of this. And instead of integers, I am going to use doubles. Whoops. And just so we can keep things straight, let's change these to y, and I'm going to change this value to 5.3. So here we're doing very much the same thing. I'm creating a double called y with an initial value of 5.3. I'm creating a pointer to a double called y pointer with an initial assignment to null. Then I'm making y pointer point to y, and the way I do that is I'm using the address operator to return y's address, which I'm storing in y pointer. So let's look at a lot of different types of things. So simplest thing, and we've been doing this all semester, is, well, what is y's value? And we get that simply by referring to y. Well, y also has an address, so let's look at y's address. And we can just print the address that the address operator returns. Now, y pointer also has a value. And by virtue of this assignment, y's value should have exactly the same value as y's address. Then we can also look at y pointer's address. Remember that all objects have to have an address. Even pointers have addresses in memory. And then, of course, we can also get at y's value by dereferencing the pointer. So this would be, so we're going to dereference y pointer. And since y pointer points to y, this last print statement here should give us the value 5.3. So let's run this one and see what output we get. Whoops, made a couple of mistakes. So let's look at 14. Ah, yes. Did you see what I did? I forgot my terminating double quote. There we go. So now let's see what happens. All right. So now when we run that, here's our output. So as predicted, we get y's value, which is 5.3. And this is y's address. And what this is an address in hexadecimal notation. And in a subsequent video lecture, I'll explain how these addresses work. It's optional. You can skip it. So that's the address where y is stored in memory, or where 5.3 is stored in memory. And y pointer's value is exactly the same, and it should be because we stored y's address in y pointer. Y pointer also has an address. Notice that it's similar but different. In fact, if you know hexadecimal, this starts at B0 and this starts at B8, and I'll explain in the next video lecture how that occurs. And then, because y pointer points to y, when we dereference y pointer, then we should get, and we do get, the same value that y has.